an example of gaslighting. I was dating this guy, and when I met him, he was living in a nice house. He had purposely showed me his walk-in closet, which had all this Louis Vuitton everywhere. And he had 4 different vehicles that were over $100,000. Okay? Just posted in the driveway. So after about 3 months, he was moving to a new location. He just said he had to move. Well, within 6 months, I had moved in with him, and I realized, I ended up finding out, actually, it's not that he told me this information. I ended up finding out that he had gotten evicted from that first house, and that's why we were living in this new place. And then while I was living with him, he was not paying the rent at the new location, and he was constantly trying to get government loans and government assistance any way he could so that he wouldn't have to pay the bills. And his excuse was, well, you know, they did certain things to the black man, so this is why I'm going after their government money. No, you're going after taxpayers' money, and I'm a taxpayer. I have a real career with a real corporate job. So you're going after people like me, and you want us to fund your lifestyle. That's why it's so important to date, to collect data. And guess what? Within a few months, he was getting evicted from this place because all of the quick licks, which means like quick schemes he was trying to pull in order to meet his needs, weren't working. And he kept saying, I'm an entrepreneur, but really he was a bum. He was a well-dressed bum. That's all he was. He never had a job. He kept trying to find ways to either get money from the government or to get money from his different insurance companies. That's it. You know, whether it was through a car, through rental insurance, like it was ridiculous. But when you don't know someone, you know, when you haven't fully collected data on someone, you will end up in situations like this. So I went into the relationship thinking that he was someone who was financially stable, someone who was well off and doing well for himself as an entrepreneur, but he was extremely unstable. He was extremely irresponsible. He was extremely immature. And he was actually looking for a sugar mama. He was looking for someone to take care of him. And mind you, just want to put this out here, I'm in my 30s. He's almost pushing 50, okay? And so when I realized that I got gaslit. This is what gaslighting is. It's manipulating you psychologically to believe something that's not true. So he manipulated me to believe that he was doing well for himself by flashing all these things in front of me, you know, with grandiose gestures and I don't even know where he had that little bit of money from when we first started dating, but he was doing grandiose gestures. He was living well, but he could not keep that lifestyle up. Within 6 months, it was falling apart. When he realized that I understood that he could not take care of himself as a almost 50-year-old man, he then, as the narcissist will do, began to gaslight me and make me feel guilty for the standard and for my preference. I wanted a stable man because I'm a stable woman who understood hard work and had healthy financial values and had healthy values for themselves in general. And if you're almost 50 and you don't know how to take care of yourself and you don't have a pot to piss in or a bucket to throw it out or a window to throw it out, I'm sorry. If you're constantly robbing Peter to pay Paul, me and you are on totally 2 different levels. Like, you know, I've been on my job almost 10 years now. Like, you don't even have one. We are not the same. And so he tried to gaslight me like, oh, you want to leave now? Oh, you were never down for me and all this stuff. No, if I would have known you were a bum, I wouldn't have been down for a bum. The thing is that he knew I was out of his league, and that's why he had to put on such a grandiose show in order for me to hook me into the relationship and to pressure me into moving in with him, which unfortunately, I allowed that pressure to be taken on and I moved in with him. And again, it wasn't until after I moved into the situation that I could clearly see that this situation was unstable. And yes, I wanted to leave because that was not what I wanted. You know, if a man wants a size 2 woman and he finds out that after she takes off her girdle, she's a size 10, is he not going to be like, wait, that's not what I signed up for? And he's going to feel within his right to say something to her. I felt within my right. You knew you didn't meet the standard. And so now because I want to uphold my standard, you want to make me feel guilty about that because you can't meet it. So in other words, you want me to lower my bar so that you can meet it, so that I can now settle for less. That's what gaslighting is. It's eluding you or manipulating you to believe a certain reality that is not actually true, so that someone else has a one-up, or so that someone else can gain from that illusion. You see what I'm saying? From that false perception. I don't gain if I don't know that he can't take care of himself. If he didn't, because he wasn't being honest with me about his financial situation, because he wasn't telling me that, hey, I rob and I steal and I, try to, get money from any avenue I can without working a job. I'm just out here running the streets every day. He already knew that I was not going to be down for that. So that's why he had to put on such a grandiose facade at the beginning of our dating, so that I would fall for the bait. And then once I'm in it, try to guilt trip me when he knew he didn't meet the standard. Did you really think that I was going to be with somebody who doesn't work at all? Like, it's just not going to happen. Not for me. And especially at 50 and you're older than me, like, I just think that is ridiculous. Like, if anything, you're supposed to be the sugar daddy.